This is a review of programming memes with George Hotz. Quick mention of two sponsors: Four Sigmatic, the maker of delicious mushroom coffee, and Public Goods, my go-to online store for minimalist household products and basic healthy food. Please check out these sponsors in the description to get a discount and to support this channel. And now, on to the memes. Let me ask you to do a meme review or inspect some printed black and white memes and maybe give a rating of pass or fail, like binary, if this is a win or a lose. These are mostly from the programming subreddit.
Meh.
You don't like this one. This doesn't pass.
I mean, you ordered like I could do it straight up like PewDiePie meme review. Yeah, this meme gets a 1 out of 10.
Wow, this is too much text. I
Yeah.
only half-assed looked at
Already too much text. See,
Are you gonna skip on the text?
yeah. I don't know about this. I think this plays on bad stereotypes.
Isn't that all of memes? I don't know.
No, I think like now this meme's much better.
Okay.
Never spend 6 minutes doing something by hand when you can spend 6 hours failing to automate it. Now this one I like.
Cries in PowerShell. What are you doing in PowerShell? Do you do that yourself? Like, do you find yourself over automating?
Of course. I mean, but you learn so much trying to automate. You could spend 6 minutes just driving there instead of spending, 10 years of your life trying to solve self-driving cars.
That's true. That's the programming spirit.
Of course.
I don't know what that is.
Of course. It's like you're trying to overcome laziness, and like you end up putting in way more effort to overcoming laziness than just overcoming it.
78,000 upvotes on that one? Jesus. Okay.
Mine doesn't have the... Oh, wow. Oh, that's up there, I say. This is why I trust programmers a lot more than I trust doctors.
So you like Googling. You like
doctors think they have some like some divine wisdom because they went to med school for a few years. I'm like, yeah, dude, I understand. I didn't Google this on WebMD. Actually, I read these 3 papers. Yeah. I think I know. I remember once when I was let's say drug shopping, and one of the doctors referred to Adderall as a Schedule B drug. And now I can't, correct this guy. That's drug-seeking behavior to an extreme. Schedule 2, it's not Schedule B. But, like your doctor, you don't know that? The DEA gave you a pad to prescribe and you don't know about the drug scheduling system?
Yeah. Programmers don't have that. They just outsource. Do you think that becomes a problem if you outsource the entirety of your knowledge to Stack Overflow? You write stuff from scratch pretty well.
Yeah. They asked me on Instagram, they were like, what's the integral of 2 to the x? And I'm like,
to look it up.
Well, the integral of e to the x is e to the x. So it's like something like that.
Yeah, same with Wolfram Alpha. You just start looking it up. Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's funny. That's the first.
That's the first funny one.
Yeah.
You do testing. You do like not user.
We give it
unit testing. Yeah.
Oh, we do unit testing too. Yeah, we have our regression testing's gotten a ton better in the last year. Now we're pretty confident if the tests pass that at least it's going to go into someone's car and do something. Right, versus in the past, like sometimes we merge stuff in and then like one of the processes wouldn't start.
Right. So you think that kind of testing is still really useful for autonomous vehicles?
Not as much unit, but like some kind of God, I'm bad with words today. Holistic, like integration testing.
Sure. The thing runs.
Yeah, that it runs and that it runs in CI and that it like doesn't output crazy values. And then actually we wrote this thing called process replay, which just runs the processes and checks that they give the exact same outputs. Yeah. And you're like, this is a useless test because, what if something changes? Well, yeah, then we update the process replay hash, right? Like this prevents you from, if you're doing something that you claim is a refactor, this will pretty much, it will check that it gives the exact same output every single time, which is good. And we run that over 60 minutes of driving.
But that one's a win for you. You get past a 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Can't give anything a 10 out of 10. That's a good meme.
Breaks the rule.
Yeah. I mean, this is why I don't use IDEs. This is true.
It's just true. It's not
That's
even
just
funny.
true. It's
But
not
I
even
gotta
funny.
say, I mean, to me, it's kind of funny because it's so annoying. It is so annoying when ID. That's why I'm still using an Emacs, is because ID. It's like Clippy on steroids.
It is, of course. They're gonna make good ones though. I always still want to. This is a company idea I want to do. And I've trained language models on Python. You can train these like big language models on Python, and they'll do a pretty good job, like reading, checking for bugs and stuff.
So you hope for that, like machine learning approaches for improved IDs.
Yeah,
that's very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think machine learning approaches for like improved, like look at Google's auto suggestion in Gmail.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, that even like the dumb thing that it does is already awesome. So there's a lot of like basic applications of like GPT-3 language model that might be kind of cool. Yeah.
I think that the idea that you're going to somehow get GPT-3s to replace customer service agents, I mean, really, this reflects so badly on customer service agents. And like, why don't you just give me access to whatever API you have? You know?
I don't know. This one is.
Yeah.
I just saw the picture. I actually wondered if it works at all.
That's good. That's good. The last line is good.
Okay, thanks. Bye. Okay,
no, I'd rather you mine cryptocurrency in my browser than use my speakers.
Yeah. I feel that way about pop-ups too. Just anything.
I mean, those you can at least block. It's like, you know what? The only thing I do want to autoplay is like YouTube.
What? Why do news sites start autoplaying their news? I don't get.
I haven't been to a news site in years.
It's true.
I do not read the news. Like people like I still hear about the news because people talk about it. But
yeah.
Like I've never been to a news site.
Yeah, who goes there?
Who goes to these sites? And in fact, even on Hacker News, I'll always avoid it if like the link is like a New York Times or CNN, or I guess I've read a few things. But yeah, those like the pop-up-y news sites.
Yeah, those websites are broken. Somebody needs to fix it. That's at the core of why journalism is broken, actually. It's because like the revenue model is broken, but actually the interface, like it's just like I have to, like I want to pay the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. I want to pay them money, but like they make it like to where I have to click like so many times, and they want to
have to have a login and have a New York Times password.
Yes, and also they're doing the gym membership thing where they try to make you forget that you signed up for them.
God.
So that they charge you indefinitely. Like just be upfront and let it be $5, and then everybody would. It's your idea, which is like just make it cheap, accessible to everyone. Don't try to do any tricks. Just make it a great product, and
people like
everybody will love it. Yeah.
Actually, what I want to see also, I've seen them start to exist, is ad block that also blocks all the recommendeds. I don't want trending topics on Twitter. Please get rid of it. These trending topics have zero relevance in my life. They're designed to outrage me and bait me. Nope, don't want it.
You know, one interesting thing I've used on Twitter, I had to turn it back on because it was tough, is there's Chrome extensions people could try, is it turns off the display of all the likes and retweets and all that. So like all numbers are gone. It's such a different, people should definitely try this. It's such a different experience because I've realized that I judge the quality of other people's tweets by the number of likes.
Yeah.
Like it's not, basically if it has no likes, then I'll judge it versus one that has like several thousand likes. I'll just see it differently.
Yeah.
And when you turn those numbers off, I'm lost. At first, I'm like, what am I supposed to think? It's a beautiful thing.
That's right. And then how much is it manipulated?
Yeah, it totally is. But it's an interesting experience worth thinking about.
I found that, so actually I do. I do it with ad block. I have like trending topics. Anything that's global and applicable to everybody, I definitely do not want. I do not want to know what's trending in the United States right now. It's always some like political agitprop or like it's agitprop a lot of the times.
But at the same time, like to push back slightly, for me, trending, like if there's a nuclear war that breaks out.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you. And I just trust that if nuclear war breaks out, someone's going to come.
A friend will text you.
Friend will text me like, yo.
Hey, are you in a shelter or what?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So if it's bad enough, you'll know.
Yeah, I did also try turning off YouTube's recommendations, but I realized that they do provide value to me. Like the tailor.
Customized to you.
Yeah.
As opposed to a general one, like a trending one. Yeah. Yeah, YouTube does a pretty good job. So this one is about how Stack Overflow can be really rough. Asking a question on Stack Overflow be like...
No. No, I've never asked a question on Stack Overflow.
You've never have? It's rough.
I don't comment, okay? If there's a comment on the internet, I just want you to know that they probably do not reflect my values. Well, I mean, there is some truth to that too. One of the documents that I make everyone at Comma has to read it. It's linked from the thing. It's Eric Raymond, and it's how to ask smart questions.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, the quality of the answer you get depends a lot on how you will phrase the question. To be fair, I think the auto keyword I think Stack Overflow likes it where it's like there is an answer. There's not really an answer to that.
Right.
That's a great Reddit thread.
But some of the most interesting questions are a little bit
ambiguous.
Yeah.
I do this in interviews. I ask ambiguous questions, and I just see how I found that that's so much more useful for gauging candidates than like
to see how they reason through things.
To see just like what they think of and like what language they use and whether they show familiarity or not.
What do you, by the way, just as a quick aside, is there any magic formula to a good candidate?
Intelligence and motivation.
Intelligence and motivation, yeah. Motivation, passion, yeah. And you can see it through just conversation. I always wish there was a test that you could just online, like a form they can fill out.
Well, okay. So there's the old problem of testing for intelligence is easy because, okay, smart people can lie and say they're dumb, but dumb people can't really lie and say they're smart. But testing for motivation is much harder. So we do this. We have a micro internship. We bring people in for 2 days paid to come,
Nice.
work on something real in our code base.
Nice.
And we see like, are you just doing this as like a job interview? If you're doing this as like, okay, I gotta like check this box, then yeah, you're not a good fit.
Well, that's awesome. That's a good idea. And then you can be picky and see like if is there a fire there like that.
Yeah, we see, and like now we hire a lot of people, who at least like if you're coming to work at Comma, you're kind of expected to have read the OpenPilot code.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like the best candidates are the ones who have like read the code and asked questions about it. Like it's open source, right? The beauty of Comma is you don't need to be hired by us to start contributing. True.
Yeah. Are you obsessed about resource constraints?
Some, not size. I don't care about bytes, but CPU. Well, CPU is watts, and watts is bad. Watts is we're gonna pump them somewhere. We're lowering the CPU temp. People complain about the Comma 2's overheating. We have a solution. We're lowering the CPU frequencies. We're gonna ship that in the next one. But don't worry, we've made the code more than efficient enough to cover for it.
Awesome. That's one way to cool. Beautiful.
This is good. I mean, okay, 5 out of 10.
Which one?
My code doesn't work. Let's change nothing. I do that all the time.
That's the weird thing, and it often works. Just running stuff again. I don't get it. I don't get how this universe is programmed, but it seems to work. Just like restarting a computer, restarting the system. Like this audio setup, sometimes it's just like not working, and then I'll just shut it off and turn it back on, and it just works.
I interpreted this meme totally differently. You interpreted it as in like, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
I interpret it as in, I find myself doing this all the time.
And this is dumb. Yeah.
I just run it again. I know it's going to give me the same answer, and I'm not going to be happy with it. But like, I found this. I did Advent of Code last December. Advent of Code's great. It's it's a programming challenge every night at midnight for December. Yeah, I'm proud of myself. Proud of how I did on the leaderboard. Yeah, I found myself doing that all the time. I'm like, this has to be right. I don't understand. Yup.
This kind of you embody this in some sense. You're able to, I mean, at least I've seen you able to accomplish quite a lot in a very short amount of time. It's interesting.
Yeah, sometimes. I don't know. Some of them, like, people don't realize how much, like, I cheated at Twitch Slam. Okay. To be fair, I did write that slam from scratch on there. I did not have, like, a copy of it written. But I also spent, like, the previous 6 months studying slam.
Right.
So, like, I had so much.
There's a base there. Sure.
Going into it, whereas like with these other things, like I don't have anything going into it, and people are like, "Why isn't it like Twitch Slam?" Well,
So this one is just you find this to be true? Is this funny at all?
I find it
It's
to
just a
be
3 out of 10.
Yeah, 3 out of 10. There's a lot of threes in there.
This is a machine learning class.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I mean, this is the tension. I get this. I mean, sometimes this meme pisses me off a little bit because people that like learn machine learning for the first time and they're struggling with like object detection and they think, how is this supposed to achieve general intelligence? That's because you're just doing a first intro to what software 2.0, as opposed to like when you scale things. I mean, you can achieve incredible things that would be very surprising.
I mean, it's the same thing with software 1.0. You know, they
Yeah.
they sit there and they write "Hello World" and they're like, "How is this thing supposed to fly rockets?"
Right, and
Well,
it does.
yeah.
The thing is, it does.
It just takes a whole lot more effort than you think. I don't know, but I'm very
You're bullish on neural networks.
I'm bullish on neural networks. I think neural networks are definitely going to play a component. I'm bullish on what neural networks are, which is a beautiful generic way. I was one of our screening questions is what's the complexity of matrix multiplication? And I was explaining this to like why fundamentally this is true, and then I went a little further with it. I'm like, this is neural networks is just like matrix multiplications interspersed with nonlinearities, and there is something so the fact that that's such an expressive thing, and it's also differentiable, and it's also it's convexy, which means like convex optimizers work on it. Like, yeah, well, this isn't going anywhere. Of course not.
Yeah. The question is, what are the limits of its surprising power? But
I think that we haven't seen the loss function yet.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the right loss function. It's going to be something fancy that looks, I think, like compression. And I haven't seen these things really applied. Maybe there was that one paper where they tried like surprise to solve Montezuma's revenge. But
yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff in RL that it reveals the power of these things. That's yet to really be understood, I think. So that's kind of an exciting one.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting up with this nonsense of a paper-based meme review, George.